Good evening and welcome to the 2025 MIAA Volleyball A Conference Championship, featuring the number 2 seed Gilman School and number 1 seed Loyola Blakefield. I'm Jack McGuinn. I'm here with Coach Sam Bianco, live
from the Smith Center, Jack. Good to be here with you tonight. We have our starting announcements going on right now. This Loyola team undefeated, 14-0 this season, looking to come into the Smith Center tonight against the number 2 Gilman team, 10-0 in the conference. Loyola's taken both of these matches this season in 5 sets. We expect a thriller tonight.
Absolutely. Both teams coming off some dominant semifinal wins. Loyola taking it 3-0 over St. Joe on Wednesday, and Gilman taking it in 5 over a talented Spalding team.
Yeah, we'll see if Gilman still has their legs about them tonight. I'm sure they'll be energized to come in here. They have a deep roster. They should have plenty of players ready to go and available for this one. This is a rivalry match, Jack. We've seen these two teams go at it for 20-plus years in this league, and it is always eventful. It never disappoints.
Absolutely. The gym getting loud here as the Rowdy Dons on the right and the Gilman Greyhounds are on the left. The fanatics that they are, cheering for their teams, booing for the other. We're all to see a loud presence of them in this game.
It's going to be fun. We always talk about Friday night in the Smith Center. You can't ask for anything more. Here we are again, another beautiful championship game in what I think is the best venue in the MIAA. I'm not biased at all.
Couldn't agree more. As an unbiased
now we're going to have fun
myself
tonight. It's going to be fun watching these two teams play. High caliber offenses, solid defenses. We're going to see some really good play at a really high level at the high school level tonight.
You know, it pains me to see this much blue in this beautiful gym, but we'll stand now for the national anthem. Coached by Diego Matores, we've got number 1, Hugh Ward, number 5, Evan Choi, number 6, Nico Eggers, number 7, Alex Triplett, number 9, Jay Salavara, number 10, Rohan Vesely, and number 18, Zach Zucker. Heading over to Loyola Blakefield, the Dons are coached by Tim Byer. We've got number 3, AJ DeCapite, number 6, Connor Ford, number 7, Brooks Peterson, number 8, Bryce Llewellyn, number 9, Charlie Gerke, number 13, Luke Hines, and number 16, Jack Norris.
Both these teams fired up tonight, Jack. Both of these teams very well coached. I've known Coach Tim Baer for Loyola and Coach Diego Matores for Gilman for a very long time. Competed against these guys, coached against these guys, consider both of these guys friends. One thing I know is true, that their teams are going to be prepared tonight, and they're going to know what to say at those critical times, because both of these coaches have a lot of experience coaching in this championship match. Fun fact tonight coming into this match, Jack, both teams in their MIAA A conference history have 8 championships to their name, looking for their 9th tonight.
Wow, and is that the most of any team?
Those are the top 2 right there.
All right. So we'll have a tie broken tonight. We'll start the game with number 11, Coco Bose, at the line. Here's the serve. Received well. Llewellyn pushes it out. Nice dig from Choi there. And Bose will send it over.
Yeah, really nice job there by Gilman to keep that in play.
Free ball taken. That's an excellent block. Gilman strikes first. Their front line did not let up.
Triplett and Zucker there, combo for the block. They just put up a really nice block there. And that ball falls in the back corner beautifully for point number 1.
So here's Bose again with a nice float. That'll be received by Hines. Pushed out by Peterson. Here's a push of their own by Gilman. Called in the net on Loyola.
Yeah, Loyola trying to push through on that block there. Just, got a little excited. Got some of that tape there for point number 2 for Gilman.
Ooh. A rough receive there. That's Hines. Gets a little tripped up on his feet. And Bose leading this Gilman team off to a nice 3-0 start.
Yeah, Hines struggling there with that pass, but we're going to see him as one of the key players for Loyola. He's really done a lot for them this season, and he's been a critical component to their success.
And there we go, Loyola with their first point of the night. That's Jack Norris striking that one down in the middle.
Yeah, the setter Llewellyn for Loyola doing a really good job of trusting his hands, trying to go quick. A nice 31 ball there to Norris to put the first ball down for Loyola.
And the hands go up for the sea of blue, as that's a missed serve from Hines. Struggling early out of the gates here.
I talked to Coach Bear before the match. He really wants to see his team play tonight as they've played all season long, and that's serving aggressively and attacking aggressively. And you're going to see balls in the net, you're going to see balls fly out, but they're going to live and die by being aggressive. And you're going to see the same thing from Gilman too. These guys don't hold anything back on their attack. They have a lot of depth. Both teams, a lot of good seniors.
Coming in to serve was number 15, Joe Hutzler. This one put out, and that's Connor Ford. Hammers the corner. Loyola now climbing back into this game.
Yeah, we just talked about senior leadership. Connor Ford stepping up right there and putting a really good ball down. The block was very late there for Gilman.
Subbing back in was Zach Zucker. Evan Choi, the libero, coming back in. The other libero there is AJ Decapite.
Decapite did a good job of picking that one up.
He's at the serve. That's Peterson. Choi unable to gather that one. And that's a strike down the line. That gives Loyola yet another point.
Llewellyn's showing, what he's capable of there, keeping the Gilman defense on their toes, delivering a back set to the right side there for the kill.
A nice set there. They'll call the touch. A little bit of a dispute there from the Loyola team, but Gilman will call the touch there. And now at the line will be number 1, Hugh Ward.
Yeah, touch was called. I'm 50-50 on that one. We did have one referee call touch and one not, but the up ref went with the closer referee there with the touch call.
The Dons faithful not happy with that call. But here's Llewellyn. Nice push there to Gerke. Picked up, though, by the Greyhounds. And that's put down by number 6, Nico Eggers. A really nice set there from Evan Choi, putting it out to his right side there.
Yeah, Eggers has the size there on that right side. He was just able to push that ball over the net. That's a really tough spot for the defense to play.
Wow. What an excellent set by Llewellyn there. Ford slamming that one on the back corner, and they regain control of this match.
Yeah, Connor Ford, he's not the tallest guy out there, but he gets up, and he's able to put that ball down with authority.
We're expecting a top here from Peterson. There it is. Nice serve. They're going to call it out, though. Close there. Probably out by a foot or so. Not by much.
We see Coach Diego, a lot of subs on the Gilman side. He's not afraid to, switch personnel in there. And find the right guys at the right time.
There's Triplet at the line. That serve goes a little bit out. The Dons faithful making their presence known. So here's Ford at the line. Another top server. A really nice serve there as he picks up the ace. Excellent motion on that serve. A really nice downward angle. And Vesley unable to put that one up for his setter.
Yeah, good topspin serve there. Jack, I think it's 6-7.
I believe so, Coach. No comment.
So far, Connor Ford's been an impact player early on in this set, but he misses that one there. Staying aggressive, we're not surprised to see that from Loyola. That's something Coach Baird talked about, and we'll continue to see them serve hard.
Close one here early. And that's out by early. That's gonna, well, I don't want to say it's all your fault because that's what the Dons are chanting right now, but it does seem to be that way.
Loyola making a sub, senior Mikey Boyle, serving specialist coming in.
Wow. And they're gonna call the setter Hugh Ward for over the line there under the net. An excellent set there, though. That was to Zach Zucker.
That's a really tough play there by the senior Ward to try to keep that ball in play. His foot just went over the line.
This one pushed out to Triplet, and that's down. An excellent push there by Triplet. Paints the line.
Yeah, that's a smart play there. I think he kept that ball in front of his shoulder. It looked pretty good from my vantage point. Might be trying to tool the block there, but he's able to go right down the line. Loyola giving him the line there.
So now here's number 4, Jonah Thompson, coming in for Gilman. A low float there, very nice. And that's blocked! He says, no, sir, as that one goes down on the Don side.
Llewellyn really only had one play there to Hines, and, you know, it was a tough ball for him. It was a tough ball for Hines, and, you know, nobody in the back row for the Dons there really ready to swing. Question here on the score. Score's correct. 10-8 Gilman with the serve.
Thompson with the nice float. Llewellyn pushes it to his middle. That's Norris. Dug by Choi. And a tight play at the net, but it goes over. Initially a really good block by Loyola, but it goes off of the Gilman guy as they're both at the net and lands on the Don side.
Hey, you know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That was a great block by Loyola. Goes off the head of the Gilman attacker and lands in.
That was Triplet on the attack. Or sorry, that was Vesely on the attack.
That's Gilman's third service error. They're going to stay aggressive with their deep float serve. Oh, that looks clean.
An excellent cover from the Dons after that monster block. That's Josh Kim. Pounded down. Up again. And they'll call in the net on the Greyhounds. An excellent rally there from both teams.
Really good rally. Really great digs there. Some good play at the net. Both teams seem to be settling in a little bit here. You know, as we enter the middle part of this first set, 1 point separates the teams here.
Llewellyn from the service line. That'll be Zucker. Dug by Loyola. Ooh, that's a questionable set there.
Yeah,
free ball sent over.
Let that go.
That's out to Kim. On the net. That'll be a touch. Point Gilman.
Kim did a really good job there of letting that ball travel across his body, trying to take it down the line and tooling the block. Well done there by the number 8 outside hitter for Gilman.
Yeah, wearing the tool belt there is Josh Kim. As we've now completed the cycle with Bose back out the line. Hey, buddy, there's a wall there. Absolutely denied by number 7 on the outside. That's going to be Alex Triplet.
First half of the set, Loyola struggling a little bit on serve receive. Let's see if they can get some more consistent passing out of their back row. That's a good one right there.
So Llewellyn puts that up for Peterson.
This might be 4 contacts.
They're not going to call it, though.
Wow.
And Ford will take it from the back row. An excellent swing from Ford. Goes off the Gilman block and lands just outside the 10-foot line.
Yeah, I think Loyola got away with one there. Coach Diego Matoris wants 4. I think he's right, but it was an athletic play, and I think the refs let it go because of that. Better serve here by Hines. And a good dig.
He's got a lot of power on that one. Here's Ford. Gets a little bit too much under it. You know, if he was over that one, it might have been driven right enough into that corner, but just a little bit too much and goes sailing out as Joe Hutzler now comes back to the line.
Yeah, Llewellyn and Ford just looked like they were a little mistimed on that ball. Maybe Ford was expecting something a little higher from Llewellyn, but you know, it's early and you gotta let these guys settle in and find their rhythm in this championship match. Great environment here, it's loud. You know, these players got a lot of adrenaline going. Let's see if they can settle in a little bit here.
Wow. Very crafty by Kim there to keep that ball in play, but Ford punishes the overpass from Gilman. Not much that Gilman could do there, but keep the ball in play, but Loyola makes the best of it.
Yeah, I think that Bryce Llewellyn is one of the best players in the league. He's definitely one of the best setters in the league, and you saw it right there. He was able to take a really tough ball off the tape and deliver a hittable ball to his outside hitter who puts it away.
Mr. Capite with the serve. Ford digs it, and Llewellyn spits it back out to him. And Ford just a little shaky there.
Yeah, you're trying to keep that ball in play. You actually saw Ford take a little bit off of his swing there. Not surprising, just puts it into the tape. But the Gilman blocks there, they're ready. And they think they know where the ball's going. Honing in on Loyola's outside hitters.
Gilman leading now by 3. That's Hugh Ward from the line. Llewellyn with an excellent serve, and that's going to be Gerke. Puts that one right over the block. And nothing that the Gilman defense could do there.
We're not done seeing that 31 ball to Gerke tonight. He's got the size advantage. He's got a good setter who's able to deliver that ball. Against St. Joe in the semifinals, their bread and butter was really spreading it around.
Wow.
And that's what they're going to have to do against Gilman tonight is spread it around, keep their block guessing where that ball's going.
And Triplett finds the hole in the gap between that middle defense and a right side there. Triplett has an excellent placement of that ball. There's Gerke again, just a little bit off on the set. And the Dogs are going to call their first timeout of the match. Down 4, the score currently 17-13. Greyhounds in the lead.
It's a good timeout there by Coach Bear. You know, Gilman's done a really good job so far of, aside from their service errors, playing pretty error-free at the net. Loyola's definitely, you know, making some of those attacking errors, staying aggressive, some of those service errors staying aggressive, but that's what they do. They're going to live and die by that. You know, Coach Bear's just trying to settle his guys in here in this timeout. He talked about before the match this Gilman-Loyola rivalry, you know, really going back years and years. They constantly play each other tough. We see a lot of 5-setters out of these teams. We're probably in for another epic battle tonight, but Loyola's got to find a way to battle back here in this set and keep it close, you know, going down the stretch here in set number 1.
And really the story so far has been Loyola's struggles to serve receive. They're not passing exceptionally well, and that's leading to not great sets that are leading to not great swings. You know, if they can kick that into gear, I think it'd be a much different story.
I agree, Jack. They got to come out of this timeout with a good, confident first touch, and let Llewellyn do his thing.
There's a good one there from Decapite. And there's Ford! Batters that one into the back line.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Yeah, the Loyola coaching staff there, their players happy to see that out of the timeout. That's what you want to see. You want to see your team execute coming out of a timeout, stay confident. Loyola now try to protect their serve. Let's see what Gilman can do on serve, receive, and offensively.
Here's Ford, likely a top serve. He has a lot of cross-court action on that. We'll see if he gets it here.
Good deep top spin serve.
That's Vesely off the block. Decapite gets it off the net and sent over. Excellent, smart thinking there. And there's Salvatore. Llewellyn blocked! Gerke's denied! It's a construction zone because there's a wall there!
That's just so good from Gilman. You know, we talk in volleyball about creating second chances, and the way you do that is you cover your attack. Gilman gets stuffed by Loyola. They're able to pick it right back up and get a kill to the outside. That's just beautiful volleyball. They're playing as a team out there.
So a good rally there ends in the middle getting stuffed. No doubt about that one, though. As number 13, Luke Hines, gets all around that block and got everything he had on that one.
Hines with a good answer. You know, he was the main guy against St. Joe. He led the team in kills with 10 in that semifinal match. But Loyola had 5 different players with 7 or more kills in that match. So, you know, expect him to be one of many tonight for Loyola to answer the call offensively.
That's Mikey Boyle with the serve there. Sent out to Vesely, off his head, and Choi goes under the net.
Yeah, you gotta love Choi. He's everywhere right now, but, you know, half his body just went under the net there. You like to see it. You like to see him sacrificing his body out there. It was a great play. Coach Diego here burning his first timeout. You know, it got a little closer there. Nice run there by Loyola, but Coach Diego just wanting to settle his team down a little bit and get back to what their strengths are here coming out of this timeout.
We saw some much better passing after that timeout from the Loyola Dons. Led to some great shots, great kills, and really, that's what's going to set them up for success here later in the game. You know, that's going to be crucial for them getting those rallies, which is exactly what they want against a scrappy Gilman team.
Coach Diego Maturas before the match talked about, you know, his team's values being their North Star, right? And I think you see that in these timeouts. You see the energy and the passion from the bench. They really support their players on the court. They pick each other up. Coming out of this timeout, you know, you expect them to be confident to make a play, to have a good first touch. They're smiling out there coming out of the timeout. He's got his guys ready to go against an undefeated Loyola team.
Yeah. Fearless is what the Greyhounds could best be described as here in this first set. So Boyle's at the line with a nice float. Taken well by Vesely. It's back to him, off the block. Played up by the Loyola defense. And that's going to be an excellent tip there. That's Hines, yet again. You know, with all his strong plays he's made tonight, all he had to do was roll that one right off the block, and it sneaks by the Gilman defense.
Hines sold out there, but, you know, when Gilman wraps their outside hitter around to cover that tip, sometimes if you can push it over that guy, you can find some space out there, and that's exactly what he did.
That's Zucker. He gets blocked there. But recycled over to Vesely, and that'll be Gilman with the point. Puts it down.
Good push there by Gilman. You know, Jack, you mentioned, you know, Gilman not backing down out of this one. They're playing confident. They don't look rattled at all against this undefeated Loyola team. They know they can hang with them. They've gone 5 sets twice this year. And, you know, you expect them to come out and play confidently.
And so now at the line is Thompson subbing in. A great pass for Llewellyn. And that swing from Hines is going to go just out. He tried to get around the block there, but picked the wrong side of the line to hit it on.
Hines sees that line open. He just pulls that ball a little bit out.
So back to Hines here, off the block. And Gilman will pick it up. Pushing it out to Kim. A little bit of a weird hit there, but it lands in. Loyola upcycles it, pushing it out to Ford, and he paints the line in that back right corner.
Yeah, that time Llewellyn found his guy. Ford was ready to go. You saw him calling for the ball early in the back row. He gets a good set, and he's able to find some space and put that ball down. Loyola needing a good block here at the net at 18-20. They got to find a way to steal a point or two on a run.
I was about to say, we'll see how they receive that crafty left serve that Llewellyn's got. It's not well. Wow! Loyola pummels that one. No answer from Gilman there. And the bench is hyped.
Yeah, Brooks Peterson got all of that ball. A perfect delivery from the setter. And Coach Diego Maturas going to call his second timeout up a point here late in the set.
2 timeouts that close back to back. You got to wonder what Matoris could say now that's different than what he just said.
You know, volleyball is a game of momentum and managing runs. And I got to tell you, Coach Matoris is one of the best in the business at managing runs and making sure that his players don't get too emotional during the match. Right now, you know, he elects to take this timeout earlier than a lot of other coaches would. Some coaches would wait until you're tied or maybe you're down 1 with that timeout in his pocket. He wants to play with the lead, right? He wants his players to protect that lead. So no surprise to see him call it here. Let's see what he can do in terms of managing his players' emotions as they come out of this timeout up 1 late in the set.
And I think Gilman's going to need to get the middle involved here. It's certainly going to be difficult with Gerke there. Norris as well, but they haven't used it yet.
Yeah, we've seen a lot as that ball sails out to make it 20-20. We see a lot from Gilman's pin hitters. But you're right, they haven't really gotten their middles involved offensively yet. And I think Gilman is really trying, or I'm sorry, Loyola's block is really trying to hone in on those Gilman pins.
Yeah, it certainly makes it easy when you know it's not going somewhere. That's Kim, though! He bludgeons that one to the back left corner. Loyola unable to get that one as it careens off and hits the floor.
Really good set there by Thompson. It was a quick set to the outside. It made it tough for the block to get there. And Gilman puts that ball down beautifully, takes the 1-point advantage. Crowd's getting into it, Jack.
And so Bo's facing a deafening wave. Sends the serve over, a nice float. Llewellyn kicks it back. And an excellent tip there. Choi caught off guard and unable to get that one up with that half-speed swing.
So Hines
really
did the
doing his
same
job.
thing on the left side when he was in the front row. He goes to the right side and puts the ball on the same tee right over the Gilman block. Gilman's going to have to pick that up.
And we didn't see a lot of tipping from Hines in the semifinal, so perhaps a strategy from Coach Bayer there.
Coach Diego looking like he's asking for a lineup check here. Sometimes coaches will use this just to regroup their players. Sometimes just to, you know, make your server think about it a little bit as Hines goes back and, you know, he's playing with the ball. He's not going to be iced here. See if he stays aggressive on this serve.
So certainly giving both teams a little bit of time to think about these upcoming plays.
Coach Baer encouraging his players to stay in it. And here's Hines with the serve. Let's see what he goes with here.
He's got a nice hybrid.
Yeah, there it is.
A lot of power there, but Choi digs it well.
Great dig by Hines.
Kicked out the triplet, and that'll be forward off of Choi. And Loyola breaks the knot at 21.
I'll tell you what, Ford's been tough to stop so far this match. He looks really comfortable and really confident in the front row so far in this first set.
Yeah, the Dons are rolling here late. Another great serve.
That's a great serve receive there.
And there's the middle action.
Yep, there it is.
That's Zucker finally getting the middle involved. And Loyola not really sure of what to do there as they had a couple guys look at it. You know, some call that a campfire. I think that's a pretty lame term because it kind of discredits what Zucker just did there.
Zucker, the only sophomore on the roster for Gilman, you know, showing his size and his ability there.
Wow. And that's Peterson tooling the block there, getting the ball back in the Dons' court.
Swung right into the block. Gilman unable to put that ball in play. Really good swing there, really confident swing there from Peterson. And Loyola has the advantage here at 23-22.
We'll see if they can close it out here with Decapite at the line. A high float. And Bose receives it well. Kicked out the triplet, blocked at the net. And that's Salavara! Salavara! There he is, he lashes that one. And shanked by the Loyola defense. That's Jay Salavara getting the Hounds back into a tie.
Really nice job there by Salavera. And I'll tell you, we got another deuce on our hands here, 23 all. Got to win by 2 here, Jack. Both teams going to stay aggressive here.
That's a setter, Hugh Ward.
Llewellyn is doing a great job there. One-handed set, quick ball. Loyola serving for the set.
The score 24-23. Don's ahead with this serve from Peterson.
Staying aggressive on the serve. Good topspin serve there.
I suppose. He pushes it deep, and that one's going to go to the Dons. Set 1. Closes out. Final score 25-23. Loyola takes the first one.
What a great start to this one, you know? I mean, you hate to see it end on an error like that, but both teams just played a really solid first set. You know, if you're Gilman, it's easy to be frustrated going into the second set. You had, you know, a 2-point, 3-point lead there, pretty comfortable throughout the set, but Loyola just did a great job of going back to what makes them good. They did a good job of distributing the ball. Their setter did a great job of mixing it up to both pins, as well as getting their middles involved. That was a fun one to watch.
Yeah. Looking at the stat line, we'll start with Gilman. Really spread out, pretty even on each. You know, we've got kills, 2 kills from Kim, 2 kills from Vesely, 2 kills from Triplet, and then a couple for the middles each of Salavara and Zucker.
Yeah, Ford was the guy there for Loyola. Led all attackers with 6 kills. Hines had 4 there, and they got a couple from the right side and a couple from their middle, Gerke. So again, we saw that distribution later come into play, which I think really impacted the Gilman block.
I couldn't agree more. Getting some close-ups now of the stands. Fans are really packing the arena here. There's a good look there of the Dons student section. They've showed out in full force tonight. And it really adds that 7th man to the court for the Dons.
Yeah, these student sections are used to going at each other. Both student sections are good and lively tonight. We got a great crowd on our hands here in the Smith Center on Friday night.
Of course, if you weren't with us earlier, Boys Latin swept John Carroll in the B Conference Championship to take the win 3-0. That preceded this game. But congratulations to the Lakers for their great season, and to the Patriots as well for making it to the championship.
Yeah, the Lakers did a great job in that one of just staying aggressive throughout the match. And, you know, their outside hitters were their bread and butter tonight. John Carroll just didn't seem to have an answer on their block for him consistently. Congrats to BL winning their 5th B Conference championship in their school's volleyball history. Be interested to see here, Jack, what Coach Diego Matoras does in terms of personnel. He has 11 seniors on this team, and he's not afraid to make changes. He will often change his offensive scheme throughout the match. He's not afraid to make subs to find the right lineup that works not only against that opponent, but on that particular night.
He's played 11 different guys tonight already. And, you know, that really shows the depth that those Greyhounds have. You know, different guys for different situations, as you was just saying.
Yeah, and although they lost that first set, they played really well. They played within themselves. They know they can win.
And they were leading for most of the set until that very end.
Loyola going to start here with their outside hitter. Number 13, Luke Hines on the serve. And he stays aggressive.
Wow!
And that was the best serve of the night we've seen from Hines.
That was absolutely brutal. In fact, Triplett caught that one. Got him in a chicken wing there.
Yeah, that's a tough ball to handle right there.
Yeah. That hybrid float of Hines is really killer. That one, unfortunately, will sail out, though. You know, when he puts that much power on it, there's only so much control you can have.
Yeah, the last serve had a nice float to it. That had a little bit of more of a hybrid top spin to it, but it sails well out. Gilman now even, 1-1.
Choi at the line. A short float, and he'll get to Capite there.
And there's the answer.
So
Gilman with an ace of their own.
An ace each for both these teams to start this second set. We saw the power from Hines and the tech from Choi.
Good pass there by Ford.
Llewellyn sends it back. That will come off the net. Salavara swinging out to Kim, and he'll send the free ball over deep.
Really nice deep free ball there.
He goes back to Peterson, and he goes with his, I think, his opposite hand to put that one down.
Yeah, he swung left-handed there. The set was a little inside the pin, but, you know, he went off speed with it, and it was effective.
Capite now with the serve of his own. That'll go to Thompson, and no answer! Kim alone at the net, and he slams that one down.
Yeah, Ford looked like he wasn't expecting that ball to go to Gilman's right side, and Loyola had no block up there, so an easy kill there for Gilman.
Yeah. Coming in now is number 1, Hugh Ward. He'll send the ball over. Llewellyn pushes it out now to Ford. And yet again, Ford puts it down for the Dons. He clobbered that one. Straight into that back right corner, and both Choi and Bose looked at each other, expecting the other go for it, but ultimately neither did.
Connor Ford staying aggressive and staying confident on that swing.
Peterson with the ace of his own. A short top. I'm not sure he meant to do that, but it certainly worked out for him. Clipped the top of the net and landed right in front as Salavara and Ward both tried to get it.
Got a little bit of help there by the tape.
Bose with a nice pass to Ward. And that'll be a tool from Salavara. Right off of the Loyola blockers.
Yeah, Gilman trying to get Salavara into the mix early here in this set. Good to see. Loyola really kind of honing in on Gilman's pin hitters. Salavara able to put that one away pretty easily.
There's Triplett with the serve. Llewellyn just a bit out. Ford unable to grab that one. And so Gilman now takes the lead.
Yeah, nice pass there by Decapite off serve receive. Another float serve here by Gilman.
Free ball from Ford on the line. They'll call him for the double there. Just a little bit of issues with the release. I think that's why they called it, just because he was shifting the direction. You know, on balls like that, it's really just if the ball comes off the hands at different times. And I think that was close enough just because of the misdirection.
Yeah, we see players often want to push that ball, but they can't turn their body as they do it. And it was, I think, a double contact. I think that was a good call there by the R1.
Here's Triplett. He's facing a zoo of noise. But he pushes through, and that'll be an ace. You know, straight off of, I think that was Peterson who took the serve, or Decapite. Either way, the other one tried to get it, but it hit the back ball by then.
Yeah, Triplett trying for a deeper float serve here, and that one sails, but it's often tougher to handle for your back row players, your serve receivers, because the ball breaks and moves so much.
Certainly. And now we've got Ford back at the line, expecting another top. Watch it cross from Choi to Triplett. Or it'll go the other way and paint the line. My goodness, was that an excellent serve. Wow.
Yeah, you can't place that ball any better. Right into the back corner. See if he can repeat it.
Now call it luck, call it skill. I call it in.
Loyola gonna stay aggressive. Another good serve there.
Now Gilman struggling a bit with the serve receive.
Yeah, these are aggressive serves here by number 6, Connor Ford, and proving to be tough to handle by the Gilman serve receive. Good pass there by the libero.
Not a great set there, so Salivar will just have to tip it. Gerke pushes that one. Wow, that's a large overset there by Choi.
I like what Llewellyn tried to do there, though. He's trying to get Gerke involved in the middle. We saw him put a couple really nice balls down in the first set. You gotta keep switching it up. You gotta keep distributing the ball. Keep Gilman's block guessing.
So Ward will push it out. That goes to Vesely, but he swings that one, and that's just a bit past the line there.
Both these teams strong blocking teams in both their semifinals. They did a really good job blocking their opponents. They both have good size. I think we're going to continue to see a lot of good competitive play at the net tonight.
Llewellyn pushes that out. There's going to be some net play there, and they're going to hand it to Gilman. They're going to call number 13, Luke Hines, in the net.
Yeah, it looked like the Loyola player was in the net swinging, maybe pushed that net into the Gilman block. Those are tough calls for refs to make, but I think they got that one right.
Now Hutzler here getting chirped by the Loyola fans. Regardless, he puts the ball down. And Loyola will hit that one out. So Hutzler with a nice float there, and Loyola just got on the wrong side of that ball. Was unable to keep it within the court.
Yeah, Gerke's ready to hit that one. He's up for another quick one, but just sailed wide.
Speaking of just sailed wide, that would be that serve right there as it goes on the wrong side of the line that I bet Hutzler wanted. You know what we've yet to see is I want a big block. You know, I want to see a game-defining block of one that just goes straight down. We've had a couple within rallies, but I think whatever team's able to capitalize on that first will really shift some momentum.
We've seen some good touches at the net. There was one right there as well. But you're right, and I think that's kudos to these offensive players for being able to find a way around the block, through the block, tooling the block. We saw a lot of that in set one so far. We're at that point in the match, Jack, where we're almost midway through this second set. The adrenaline's kind of worn off, and you're starting to see the players try to work a little bit through some of their errors. We'll see how they respond mentally, as that adrenaline wears off.
Vesely getting subbed out here after a couple of struggles. In now is Coco Bose. We'll see if he fares better.
Yeah, that's Vesely's forced attacking error. And Coach Diego looking for an answer on the outside here for Gilman in this second set.
A great pass from Bose, but he follows it up with a ball in the net, as Coach Diego will call his first time out of the set.
Yeah, Loyola here not doing anything special. They've had a much better service game so far in the second set. Really, it's just some attacking errors at the net with Gilman, and this is going to happen with any team, right? You get a little bit out of rhythm. You put a couple of balls in the net. You call timeout. You got to regroup. You got to stay aggressive, though, and I know that's what Coach Matoris is saying to his team right now. Right? Let's be confident about what we're doing. He gets his guys to smile in the huddle, and he always knows the right thing to say to keep them mentally in the game.
Absolutely. And some great rallies within this game here. Both sides showing a lot of fight, and really, with how close that first set was, I don't expect the second set to be any different.
We mentioned each one of these teams has 8 championships apiece. Gilman looking to repeat after they swept Mount St. Joe last year. And Loyola's last championship win came in 2019. So they're hungry for another one for their 9th.
Here's Boyle from the line again. That one's put out to the right side. That's Nico. And at number 6, Nico Eggers. And he'll pick up the kill there of a little block touch.
Yeah, just a nice job there by Eggers to swing high off the block. He did his job, and Gilman does a great job of siding out of that timeout.
So now a switch of setters for Gilman. As back to the line is Thompson. Wow. And that swing from Hines didn't have a lot of power to it, but Triplett is unable to gather that one, and it goes skying into the Loyola fan section. You know, and sometimes it's ones like that where you just get a guy moving and they're unable to, control themselves as they, are trying to pass that ball.
Yeah, that almost looked like it was a little off speed, like he just took a little bit off of it.
Those with a nice swing there to keep the play alive. But wow! Peterson absolutely lashes that one into the left corner. Nobody there to stop him, nobody there to dig it.
Yeah, he owes Bryce Llewellyn $1 after this game for that set, because that was just beautiful. Gilman had no block ready for that one. Bryce Llewellyn delivers a nice quick set to his right side player, and Gilman just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, they had me fooled. I thought they were going straight to the outside.
Well, they give one back right there, and it's tough for Coach Bear to see that, but Loyola with a 4-point lead, and they look pretty comfortable in this set right now.
That they do. Not a lot of errors going on the Loyola side, hitting-wise at least. So Loyola will swing it back, and that's Hines. The ball goes a little bit out. I think, again, he's trying to get around that block because Gilman does make their presence known.
I think so too, Jack, and, you got to credit Gilman's block for being there. They're forcing Hines to really want to go line on his swings, and he's having a tough time getting around that block tonight for Gilman.
That one there will be a nice little tool from Peterson. He gets a little techie, he gets the swipe off the hands of Gilman, and it falls right inside the court.
And we've seen this from Loyola so far in set number 2, where they might make an error, but they answer right away with a really good, confident play in the next series. And so they have a 3-point lead here. Gilman's narrowed the gap a little bit coming out of that timeout. Let's see if they can get a block here coming off their serve.
That was the second missed serve, though, in a row for Loyola, and Gilman following it up with a missed serve of their own. Wow.
Yeah, you could almost see Troy trying to take something off there, trying to catch Loyola off guard going short, but just puts it into the net.
Talk about bad timing. If there was ever a time to get that point back, it was then. And Troy's unable to deliver. But that's Alex Triplett making up for it, and he gets the Greyhounds back into this game.
We say in volleyball, every point counts the same. They're all worth one. But you're right, sometimes timing is everything, and, momentum, we talked about that tonight. Trying to retain that momentum after you get a good point can be tough to do, especially in a championship match.
Some nice play off the block there by the Gilman defense. Eggers just putting it in play, and that's going to be forward. There's a called touch.
I'm not sure who made that call, but I didn't see it.
Neither did I.
It could have been made by the up ref himself. He's actually pointing to the line judge on the Loyola side who may have made that call.
Yeah.
Coach Diego is questioning it as well, but he's got to get his players ready for this next serve receive.
At least from up here, I didn't see anything there. But
yeah, tough call going against Gilman there, but they got to be ready to go and handle this top spin serve from Ford.
So Peterson gets the overpass there on the serve. He'll set it to Ford. Not a very good set, so Ford needs a free ball. Received well, and that's kicked out to Triplett. That's a tape ball, but it goes down. Decapitate, not ready for that one. Hard ball coming off the net like that, really redirects the path that most liberos are looking for to pick up from there. But
good
Gilman
answer
now
by Gilman.
Gilman now going on a run of their own.
Yeah.
Looks like I spoke too soon, though, because Loyola absolutely punished that ball.
Well, Charlie Gerke there, got a set he could absolutely handle, and he does exactly what he wants with it. You know, he's tough to stop. He's got so much size. He's hitting right over the block on that set. Great ball by Llewellyn again.
So here's Ford at the line again. He'll dart that one into the back corner, just out. Wow. So Hutzler will come on for Salavara. In comes Zucker. And this serve is do or die. Fortunately, it's a good one, but Llewellyn makes an excellent play. Ooh, a tight pass there, and Gerke turns that one away. He says thank you and puts that one down.
Really smart play there by Gerke. An excellent job in his 3 rotations there by Gerke, coming off, making a difference. That's what you want to see out of your middles. Coach Bear loves it.
And you can't make it that easy for a guy. I mean, that was as if Llewellyn had just set him himself. So, Mikey Boyle with the serve. It's a deep one, but received well. Bose on the net, and that's a nice swing from Bose. Llewellyn and Norris on the block there, just couldn't push the hands quite over, and so the ball gets trapped between them and the net. Llewellyn tries to kick it out, but unfortunately goes flying into the Loyola bench.
Good set there by the senior Ward, delivering a hittable ball. He comes out as the new setter. Comes in, Jonah Thompson.
Yep. So Thompson and Ward have been switching back and forth all game in their 6-2 rotation. Before the game, Coach Matoris had said they were going to run a 5-1. It seems that they've kind of switched that tactic. So we'll see if it continues to be that way for the rest of this. And there's Kim! Gives Gilman the answer they need! They desperately needed that one as he wallops it. And Kim has really been proving to be influential here. He's putting those balls down that need to be down. He's been one of the most consistent hitters for Gilman this game.
Yeah, really nice job there by Kim. Another ball served in the net. You mentioned Gilman's 6-2 offense. That allows them to keep their setters in the back row and always have 3 front row attackers. It's a tactical advantage for Gilman, but it does make it tough. You have 2 different setters delivering 2 different balls. Gilman's practiced it plenty. They trust their setters, and it's paying off here in the second set.
Of course, it's certainly hard to run those 3 attackers if you don't get a good pass. But fortunately, that was a good one there. And Coco Bose able to drive that one just a bit short of the libero for the point. Nice float serve received by Boyle. Swung out the other side, and that's a head top. Goes off the head of Zucker.
So we see Luke Hines there receiving from the right side of the court. He stays there to hit on the right side, and his setter knew exactly where he was, and he's able to put it down with ease. Loyola with a 3-point advantage here. It's getting to be crunch time in this set.
Another bad serve receive from the Greyhounds. And Loyola will capitalize on that. You got to ask yourself, how much of an impact is this Don's crowd having on the communication between the Greyhounds?
They came out in full force. They're loud. This is a different environment, championship environment. The decibels are up. The communication becomes that much more difficult on the court. You often have to play without being able to hear your own players audibly. So trust comes into play a lot in these championship matches.
Wow. So subbing in now is number 16, Liam Diggs. And I can't tell if it was the serve itself or just Diggs, but that serve was really intimidated, and that ball went flying out of bounds.
We see Zucker come out, Salavera come in. He's been a factor this set for Gilman in the middle. And he gets a nice block there. Loyola able to make the play and keep it up.
And there's Ford again. Rolls it a little bit under the net, and now Gilman only 2 points behind. Diggs will come out for Triplet.
Salavera making his presence immediately known. Triplet coming back on. See if Gilman can continue to provide a good block. At this point, you can't trade points with a 2-point advantage to Loyola late in the set.
And Choi missed his last one, but it's an excellent serve there. There's the ace for Choi. That's Connor Ford unable to wrangle that one. We've got a close one here late. It's 23-22 Loyola, but the Hounds are hot.
But we talked about all points equaling 1, but Gilman really needed that ace right there. They got it at a timely manner. You know, Loyola has to come out of this timeout. They have a 1-point lead, and you know, they got to just play confidently. We actually saw the roles reversed here in the last set as Loyola was playing from behind. They were able to prevail in that first set. Gilman now doing the chasing here in the second set.
And Gilman's got a lot of energy behind them. They've got Choi at the line. He's got an excellent float. So we'll see how Loyola responds. They're really going to need a great pass here if they want to close this set.
And this is what it's all about, Jack. We've had 2 tight sets here, sets 1 and 2. Both these teams are energized. They're both playing with a lot of passion out there on the court. This is what you expect in a championship match with 2 high-caliber teams.
And you know, Coach, what more could you ask for when you have these 2 kind of teams out here? All you want is that high-energy environment. And for us, all we want to see is a good game.
That's right. If I'm either one of these coaches, I'm getting what I want out of my players right now.
So Choi, handled well by Ford this time, but he goes back to Peterson, and that'll be in the court. You know, there is question about whether there's a touch, but it doesn't even matter as it goes straight into the back left corner.
Yeah, I think that one was touched. That took a little speed off of it, but it falls perfectly in that back corner, and Loyola's got set point number 2.
And so the Dons are holding up ones. A high float from Decapite. But there's Triplet, dug well. But the spazzy defense there, you know, just trying to get anything they could do to get the ball up. Sends the ball flying out of bounds to the Dons, and Gilman now within striking distance.
Gilman's got a chance here to even it up. They have to have this point to force the deuce. Let's see what their block can do.
Hugh Ward, it's deep, but Decapite receives it well. It's out to Ford.
Good touch there at the net by Gilman.
So Eggs pushes it down. Wow. And they'll call the lift.
You know, the R1 let the last one go, but he blew his whistle on this one, and it looked pretty identical to that last touch that Gilman scored on to make it within 1. So here on the replay, you'll see they're calling an illegal contact, and it does look like the Gilman player just gets it behind his shoulder, and that might have been a good call there by the R1, but man, you hate to see such a competitive set end like that on a judgment call.
So Loyola now with a 2-0 lead. Of course, their other 2 dates with Gilman resulted in 3-2 wins. So we'll see if Gilman can come back and make this one close.
Jack, I gotta tell you, I didn't expect to see 2-0 on the scoreboard. But then again, I don't expect to see a sweep tonight, and I didn't by either of these teams. I really think that Gilman's going to come out here energized. They lost 2 sets by 2 points. The margin out here is slim, but as you know, this is how the game of volleyball goes. Anything can happen. Every play matters, especially in a championship match. Every touch counts so much more than during the regular season.
Yeah, they lost 2 sets by a combined total of 4 points. It literally cannot get closer than that.
Yeah, Loyola in that set really doing what they've done all season. They've relied on their distribution there. They got 4 kills out of their right side Peterson, 2 each out of their outside hitters, and 2 from their middle blocker Gerke. So nice job there by Llewellyn. You know, running his system, running that 5-1 effectively, and being able to keep Gilman block guessing.
And swinging it over to Gilman. Of course, Triplet and Bose leading their offense with 3 kills each. Kim putting up an extra 2. And then Salavara and Eggers each adding an additional 1. Thing to note, though, was Vesely last set with 4 hitting errors and no kills to make up for it. And you got to ask, how big of a role did that play in their loss that set? I mean, that's 4 points you can't get back.
Yeah, that's tough, but you know what? If I'm a coach here, I'm talking to my guys about staying aggressive, and I want them to stay confident. And I'm okay with those mistakes in a championship match, as long as you're playing aggressive. You know, the stat sheet also shows both teams there with 3 aces and 4 missed serves. Both teams being aggressive on the serve, and again, you're living and dying by that. I'm okay with that. in a championship match, you just want to see your guys play confidently, and that's what both coaches talked about before the match here. So heading into set number 3, Loyola has a chance to sweep. I don't think Gilman is going to let him off the hook that easy.
And we saw Coach Torres sub in Liam Diggs for Vesely in that last set. But after a couple plays, he put him right back in. And so I have no doubt that Coach Torres has all faith and all belief in Vesely to come out here and make some big plays.
And I like that. You know, he's a senior. Most of these guys out on the court for both teams are seniors. They have experience, right? They've been playing the game for 4 years together. They're confident in each other. They trust in each other. You got to trust in your own abilities out here in the championship game, and you got to let your guys play through those mistakes. We've seen both teams, make errors at critical times and make some really excellent plays at critical times. We're going to continue to see that, but, man, this is fun.
An interesting change to note. Mikey Boyle coming in as libero for the Loyola Dons. AJ DeCapite is now on the bench. So you got to wonder what inspired that change from the Dons, given that with DeCapite in the back, it was working with 2-0 leads.
That is an interesting change. I have to figure that DeCapite is going to come on as a defensive substitution at some point in this set. He looks ready to go. But you're right. Coach Bear obviously has, different options there on the bench. Again, both these guys are seniors, and he trusts them to get the job done.
That pass play called in the net on Gilman. It also looks like there's been a switch from Eggers, who previously was a right side, now a middle. Kim is in at the right side. Kim is in as the outside. Coco Bose is in as the other outside. It looks like Triplet will be either the outside or the right side. We'll see as it plays out. An excellent serve there from Hines. Gilman really struggling with the serve receive this game. I think that's been the difference maker, For as good of a setter as they have and as good as hitters they have, you can't work off of bad passes.
At any level, Jack, volleyball is about serve and receive. You got to be able to have a good first touch, and there's a good one there from Choi. But, if you want to have the chance to attack like Gilman just doesn't put the ball down, you got to have a good first touch.
And that's a great push from Kim there. Gets Gilman on the board. The defense there, not really much you can do when that ball's coming at you that quick.
I'll tell you, Jack, I've been on both sides of this in a championship match. I've been a coach up 2-0 and down 2-0 in the championship. They're both tough places to be, honestly. On one side, you're trying to stay confident and not make mistakes. And on the other side, you just hope you can bring energy and keep your team in it.
Gilman catches a break there. It looked like Eggers was about to get slammed down and blocked, but they call Loyola in the net. So the score now 3-2. Gilman coming back from that really early deficit. That's Bose from the line. He's going to sail that one out, though. And, man, talk about missed serves. Gilman, it has been killing them all game. Some crucial points at crucial times. And so they've got to fix that if they expect to come back in this one.
Yeah, that's a tough miss there. I'm often telling my players as a coach, find a guy you want to touch the ball on the other side. And they've stuck with a deep float serve, which, it can be tough to handle, but Loyola's made some good judgment calls in the back row letting them go.
Wow, and so that was a nice serve from Boyle. Even better, though, is Eggers' push. That'll go off of Boyle's hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, the libero there, number 33, Michael Boyle, he just grazed that ball with his hand. It looked like he tried to pull it back, but got a little bit of a piece of it.
Yeah, definitely a touch there. You can see the ball go misdirected off the hand. Here's Hutzler now at the serve. Llewellyn goes back to Gerke. Not sure if there was a touch there, but it doesn't matter, as the ball does not make it over the net.
Yeah, no touch there. Gerke needs that ball a little bit higher. Llewellyn knows it. I'd like to see them go back and run that again and not stay away from that just because of a hitting error.
Llewellyn puts that one high for Ford. Blocked! Denied by Josh Kim! Him and Zucker took that ball and put it straight down. No escape.
Kim did a great job of staying disciplined there. He was able to hang in the air a little bit on that off-speed attack and puts the ball down. Big point for Gilman.
A nice tool there, though, from Peterson for the Dons. And that gets them right back into this 5-5.
But I think Coach Maturis, he likes what he's seeing out of the Gilman block. They're getting much more touches here in the early going of this third set at the net, and Gilman's going to have to find a way, to stifle Loyola's offense here in this third set.
Peterson with a nice top. That's going to go between Bose and Triplett, and it'll be an ace. So again, a lot of issues on the serve receive for Gilman tonight.
Yeah, I also think Peterson just, picked a great spot there right in between the 6 and the 5 back there and created some confusion.
That one, though, will go out. There's a nice read there from Triplett as he lets it go out. So in comes Hugh Ward to set.
The other thing about that block, Jack, in volleyball, it could be a great momentum changer for any team, right? Nothing gets a team more excited than a monster roof block.
Absolutely.
What a dig there in the back row by number 11.
That's Coco Bose. Excellent work there. It goes out to Triplett. He takes a lot off of that one. Now it's shoved out to Boyle, the libero. He takes the free ball, surprisingly. And that's Vesely! Wow! What a shot by Vesely! It careens off of Boyle as he tries to make the dig, but nothing he could do with that pound of a ball from Rohan Vesely.
Yeah, Vesely will get the kudos there, but that's Coco Bose right there making plays in the back row. He picked up that last free ball and delivered a great ball to his setter.
And now Connor Ford wants some of the action. Gets the ball back into Loyola's court off of an excellent set by Bryce Llewellyn.
Heavyweight fight, Jack. These teams are changing blows, and the gloves have come off here in the third set.
It's about time. We've seen premonitions of this all game with these tight matches, but now it truly feels like that back and forth with the miss there from Ford on that top.
Yeah, he had a really good serving game in set number 2. That one just missing at the top of the tape there, trying to put that top spin over. See how Loyola can respond here.
Loyola with a great pass. That'll go out to Gerke on the right side, and he makes the most of it, tooling it and getting the point for the Dons.
Yeah, Loyola, changing a little bit offensive schematically there, pushing Gerke, their middle, out to the right side off serve receive. We'll see that sometimes when the middle lines up on the right side, but their setter found their guy, and he's able to put it away.
That one's tight to Bose. And they'll call him for over the line under the net. So that's unfortunate because it was a really scrappy play by the Gilman team. Would have loved to see the refs just give it to him. But
yeah, you want to keep your setter off the net there, and Gilman having a tough time right now in their back row, controlling the pass. A lot of these balls are tight, as that one is right there. Makes your setter's job a lot harder.
Yeah, the overpass from Choi certainly didn't help him. And then that tight pass. It works out, though, as Loyola puts a little bit too much on that hit. Goes out, and now looks like we'll have Choi on the back line.
9-all. Gilman just doing a good job of fighting through some mental and physical errors here and staying in this championship match.
A really nice serve from Choi. He puts a lot of front spin on it to get it to sink just so. It's a really nasty float, and it certainly got the best of the Dons there.
Yeah, Choi's had a good serving match tonight. He's definitely provided some good float serves here, and Loyola struggled with it a bit in the back row.
That's one from Hines, just tooled off of the block. And, a scrappy and, defensively well-prepared as the Gilman defense is, they're just unable to pick that one up.
Love to see that from Hines. He's made some good adjustments here in this third set. Kind of just taking what the setter's giving him now. Not trying to force anything. And he gets a good kill there. And
the serve receive woes continue for the Greyhounds. Another ace.
Yeah, this is where you need some confident talk from your teammate. You need your teammates to trust you. That's a good serve receive right there.
There's Eggers with that one.
Loyola able to handle it. Oh my goodness, what a play there. What a play there by the Gilman setter.
That was Bose just pushing it as far as he could. And now Loyola with the dig. Oh, push over to Peterson, blocked! But it's up!
In. Yep, that's a good pickup there by number 7.
He pushes it to Bose, and that's deep!
Wow.
Wow! What a rally! Rally of the game, if not of the year. Excellent plays by both sides, but ultimately, Coco Bose is the man. He puts it down after that, exceptional tip with the tight ball. Yeah.
I'm going to say that was the most athletic play we've seen of the night so far. That second touch going over for Gilman, that was so good. That allows Bose to make that play at the end. He'll get the credit in the stat book, but, man, what a job by Gilman to keep that play alive.
Thompson with a nice float. Boyle pushes it a little bit out. All they do is tip it over and force a free ball from Gilman. Loyola now goes to the middle. That's Norris. Picked up, though. Pushed out to Bose again. He goes for his own kind of tip, and Norris swings it. Choi. Back to Kim. It's Doug. Oh! Unfortunate as Eggers tries to catch Gilman, or tries to catch Loyola off guard, and just ends up sending it into the net.
And on the replay, we're seeing the senior libero, Mikey Boyle, just going down and getting that ball, making a great play to keep it alive, and ends up earning the point for Loyola.
The Dons now with a 12-11 lead. And it's now knotted up at 12 with a miss from Luke Hines. So even though both teams have missed a couple serves, gotten aced a couple times, it balances out. We've got Bose now serving to Boyle, an excellent pass. Wow. Alone there is Peterson, but Triplett got up there. Holy guacamole is the sign in the crowd with an avocado over the net.
Yes, sir. Well, you saw Alex Triplett get up there and just make a textbook solo block. And we talked about momentum. That's going to give the Gilman crowd and the Gilman bench a lot of energy out there.
Wow. What a swing by Hines there, in a risky position like that. And Triplett stuffed at the net. That barricade of the Loyola block thwarts his attempt at putting the ball down.
Yeah, both number 7s trading blocks there. That was a great job there by Peterson to hang up with Triplett and answer. Tied up at 13 again. We've gone back and forth here in this third set.
Couldn't be closer between these two schools. Choi with the nice receive. A tight set, though. And Kim tries to make the most of it, but it goes out.
Yeah, Gilman has struggled with that tight ball. Not a whole lot you can do there by Josh Kim. He tries to stay on his side of the net, but that ball just, heading across the plane, tough to handle.
A little bit of a low receive. The Gilman defense endures, though. Kim now swings it to the side. Loyola sends the free ball. That's Bose, Thompson, Eggers, and it hits the ground! An excellent wombo combo from the Greyhounds.
Gilman able to take advantage of that free ball there. Coach Matoris loves to see that. And Gilman got some production out of their middle right there.
And here's Gilman's guy, number 14, Billy Smythe with the serve.
Smythe
and an ace for Billy Smythe
with a great float serve.
He gets that crowd going.
We talked about Coach Diego pushing all the right buttons when it comes to personnel. Put Smythe to the back line and he delivers. And the Gilman student section loves it.
And you really need a glue guy like that. He's serving great. We'll see if he can keep it up. That's Gerke, though. Excellent defense from Bose. It goes over. Thompson now, and it's Smythe. He puts the high set on Triplett. And they get him out of rotation with Boyle.
Yeah, good ball there by Smythe. He's going to make the dig here.
To the middle. No, it's Triplett. And it goes off of Boyle in the back row. Gilman finding a second gear here as they have turned it on. Billy Smythe is the ignition as Gilman now in the lead, 16-14.
Yeah, and Billy Smythe coming off the bench. Not only does he come off and deliver two really good serves, but he makes a really good set and then a really great dig that leads to that point to put Gilman up 2.
Yeah, and he really seems to be catalyzing this newfound life that the Gilman offense has.
Yeah, Gilman's found some momentum here. Really for the first time tonight in set number 3. And they're going to try to ride this here. So you want to come out of this timeout. You want to make sure you hit this serve if you're Billy Smythe. Make Loyola touch it. And then go from there. Gilman's block has been working in this third set. Trust your players at the front row. Trust your block. Minimize those errors at critical times.
Both sides taking shots at each other with the Don's fans and the Gilman's fans getting rowdy. But you know, it's like the Gilman kids say, the hounds are hot. And Billy Smythe looking to put them ahead even more than they are right now.
If you're Billy Smythe, you want to put this ball in play and let your block do the work.
Ooh.
And it's a good timeout there by Coach Bear. He made Smythe sit on it coming off the bench, and you know we often say that's a coach's point, but Loyola's going to get this ball back down 1 with a chance to tie it.
So Troy back in now to receive Peterson's serve. Bose with the nice pass. It's set to the middle, a little low though. It'll go over. Gerke punishes the overpass. Wow, there was no answer for him. All 3 Gilman attackers were up for the block. But
yeah,
Gerke's
loaded and ready for that. He saw it all the way. His eyes got huge right there as he put that ball down.
So out to Triplett now after the sweep. Wow! Absolutely hammers that one. Not a Loyola player in sight for that ball when it went down.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Jack. I'm going to say those are the 3 best touches of the night for Gilman. A perfect serve receive, a perfect set, and just a monstrous kill. And that's what Gilman needed at that time to answer.
And that is exactly what they did not need. Hugh Ward sends that one flying out. You know, in between the serve receive, which they've seemed to pick up, and these missed serves, Gilman seems to be killing themselves.
Trading blows here, heavyweight fight.
We'll see.
Loyola going to stay aggressive on the serve.
Bose with a nice pass from Ford's hard serve. And that'll be Vesely! Absolutely clobbers that one. Mikey Boyle tries to dig it, but he cannot.
Gilman doing such a better job late in this set answering Loyola's aggressive serve. Their serve receive has really come to life late in this set.
So Llewellyn now goes to the right. Wow. Well, I mean, that was an excellent attempt by Vesely, but unfortunately in volleyball you can't carry it.
Yeah.
So,
well, again, that's Charlie Gerke hitting from the right side. That's the second time we've seen him come off the court getting a kill on that right side. Gilman's got to be ready for that if he gets to that position one more time in this set.
So Vesely gives the ball a little elevator lift off of Gerke's head. Knotted at 18 now. We'll see if there's a touch. No call. Coach Matorres on the Gilman sideline calling for it.
I thought I saw the ball change direction there too, but I think the attacker just got his arm over the ball and had some funky spin on it.
And so now Decapite back in as a DS. Again calling for the touch, but none is given. And so Coach Matorres will call a timeout. The score now, 20-18, Don's ahead.
Yeah, Coach Matorres, he's got to use this here down to, you know your team can win, you believe in your guys, you trust in your guys. But these are high school kids, and they're feeling a lot of emotions right now. You don't want them to go in a shell. You don't want them to play conservative. You've been playing aggressive this whole set, and that's why you're giving your team a chance to win. You got to stay aggressive coming out of this timeout, and you got to do what your team's done late this set, and that's good to get a really good touch off service.
Absolutely, and the biggest thing for Gilman here is that they got to keep swinging. You cannot resort to only the soft stuff because you need those points, and you're going to get that out of your kills from Kim, Vesely, Bose, Eggers, and more.
You know, I talked about both these coaches. They're great guys. They have so much experience in these matches. They know how to handle these moments, whether they're winning or losing. They know the right buttons to push. And, you know, it's just great to look out and see them do their thing in this championship match.
Decapitated with a nice serve there. That'll go out to Bose, off the block, and it rolls right off the Hines' hands.
And Gilman answers. That's what they needed. It's
exactly what they needed. A masterful timeout there from Coach Matoras. And now we have Evan Choi back at the line. They'll need this one if they want to compete.
Choi with a good float serve there. Yep.
A great block at the net as well. It'll go back to Hines. Nice little float, and it'll go to Vesely. Great defense from the Hounds there. And Bose will put it into the back row. Llewellyn pushes it out. Easy pickup from Choi. Bose! Dug by Hines. It goes back to him. Oh, and it's in the net. Coming off of that defense, man, it's so hard to transition. And Hines just could not get up there in time. Maybe a little bit of a higher set from Llewellyn could have helped him out, but
that was a championship rally, though. That was probably one of the best rallies of the night right there. And Gilman able to get a really big point right there to tie at 20.
And there's Hines. Absolutely tools the block. Goes out of bounds, and the Dons retake the lead, 21-20.
And that's what you want. You know, if you're the Loyola coach, from your guys, after a hitting error in the net, to answer right there with 3 good contacts, putting the ball away.
Here's Llewellyn, a great pass. That's Salavara just tipping it over. It'll go out to Peterson. Wow, no block there. If he had just swung, he still puts it away. Gilman digs the ball. Unfortunately, too tight on the net. And the Dons are getting loud. 3 points separate them from their 9th MIAA Conference Volleyball Championship.
What a great job right there by Llewellyn to find his only hitter available as right side hitter there. It's almost like he had eyes in the back of his head. But that just shows you, the senior leadership on this team. They have confidence in one another. They know where their players are going to be. And Llewellyn just trusted his guy to get the job done right there. You're right, no block, no answer from Gilman. Coach Diego Burns, his last time out. And, he's looking for an answer here from his Gilman squad down to 22-20 in the 3rd set of the championship, trying to avoid the sweep.
It's do or die for the Hounds. They need to come out of this timeout and get a run. And we were talking about the chemistry between Llewellyn and Peterson there, just knowing exactly where his guy's going to be. You also got to ask, with all the substitutions and different players that Gilman's been playing, does that hinder the chemistry of their team?
As a coach, I would say it depends, but not this squad. These guys are used to playing with their depth and their senior leadership. I think they trust anybody to be out there to get the job done. We're going to see how that pays off here.
And Choi takes it. Salavara with a great wow, that's going to be over. And Gilman gets the point that they need. So Loyola going to reach over the plane there while Hugh Ward was setting, and that's going to be the call. I doubt that they'll overturn that because that was pretty clear as day from here.
Yeah, so the call is Loyola actually blocked the set and reached over the plane, and we're seeing this on the replay right now, and it looks like it's the right call. I don't think the Gilman setter had a chance to set that ball. So Gilman, within 1, they get the point they needed. They got to protect their serve here to get another one.
And Ward will come out for Thompson. They need this one. A good serve. Boyle receives it well. Pushed out to Peterson, and he'll shove it into the net. The game is tied at 22, and a costly error from number 7 on Loyola.
Gilman's not going to go away easy. They're not going to make this easy for Loyola. We've seen every set tight tonight.
It's not going to be there, though, because that's Luke Hines absolutely demolishing the block of Gilman, putting that one down, and regaining the lead for the Dons. 2 points away from the sweep and the A Conference Championship are the Loyola Dons.
I feel like I'm having deja vu here, Jack. Here we are again. 1 point separates these 2 teams late in the set.
It's a good receive, though, and that's Kim. Wow! Talk about lights out! Booked Peterson denies Josh Kim at the net.
Peterson was huge on that block. Did a great job there. Loyola looking to sweep Gilman here. Championship point.
The crowd is on their feet. Here's Hines. Ooh, and just goes a little deep. He put everything he had into that one. And what a way it would have been to end that game.
You knew he was going for it there. He was all charged up for that one. I like it. Gilman with a chance here to tie it up at 24.
So here's Bose. It's going to be deep, and that's going to be the game! A costly error from the Gilman Greyhounds. And that will be a sweep. Your Loyola Dons are the MIAA Conference champions.
Wow. You know, the Dons got a sweep tonight, but it didn't feel like a sweep. 3 sets, 25-23. I mean, that was great volleyball by both sides. Great job tonight by Loyola. Hats off to Gilman. They never went away in any of those sets, but Loyola gets their 9th MIAA Conference championship. Congrats to this Loyola team. Congrats to Coach Bear. Excellent job.
Wow. Talk about a dominant season from the Dons. I mean, was that 15-0 for the year?
Yeah, Loyola capped it off at 15-0. You know, they did something that's very, very difficult to do, winning all of their matches, going undefeated. Tough way for this Gilman squad to end the season, but man, they played great, you know, in their final stretch. They won their last 6 games coming into this one, but they faced a Dons team that just looked hungry tonight, and that was just a little bit better than the Gilman Greyhounds.
So congratulations to both teams. Of course, congratulations to your MIAA Conference Volleyball champions, the Loyola Dons. This has been Jack McGuinn
and Coach Sambianco. Great job here. We want to thank our MSJ TV production, especially to Mr. Schulteis here for leading the charge. We appreciate you for tuning in here tonight. We had a lot of fun.
The captains for the Loyola Blakefield